Southgate. Good evening. After two games in the Euros, is England performing better than you expected? Worse than you expected? What is your impression so far after two games?
Yeah, we have to accept that. Let's talk about today. We didn't press the ball with enough intensity, and we kept conceding possession too cheaply. And when you do those two things, it's hard to have control in the game. So it led to an anxious performance the longer the game went on, and we understand that that's got to be better if we want to progress to the stages of the tournament that everybody's expecting and delivering what we need to deliver.
Next question, here up front, second row.
Hello, Gareth. Sam Wallace from The Telegraph. You very rarely take Harry Kane off. I think it was Hungary in a World Cup qualifier was the last time you did when you need a goal. Is he fit at the moment?
Well, we just felt the whole front line put a lot of work into the game the other day. He's only had 190 minutes in the last 5 or 6 weeks, so the other night took a lot out of him. I mean, we could have stayed with it, but we thought to get speed in the front line at that moment, to get energy, to be able to press was important. So yeah, that was the decision we took with all of the substitutes basically.
Thank you. I have a question over there.
Pierre from L'Equipe. If we compare to the game to the Serbia, Kane dropped more and Foden play more centrally. So did you give them both more freedom for this game?
Yeah, we played more with the 10 today, and that meant that when Kane was coming low, we had players running past him, a little bit more in contact with him. We also pressed slightly differently, which meant that Foden was starting a little bit more in field. But our press wasn't intense enough, and it meant that our backline had a problem with the players dropping either side of our pivots. So that's something that has to be better. We know with the profile of players that we've got, we don't feel the way to press is really high up the pitch. Don't think that's the physical level of the team at the moment either. But we've got to find a way of being more compact and more difficult to play against than we found in the last 3 halves of football.
Another question over here before. Thanks.
Hi, Gareth. Oliver Kay from The Athletic. How do you feel the setup has worked and the personnel has worked over the last 2 games? And is it inevitable there'll be changes for game 3 anyway? And what will sort of dictate those changes?
Yeah, we need to look. Clearly, we're disappointed with the level of the 2 performances we've had. So we've got to go and analyse that in depth and find some solutions to addressing the issues that we have. And yeah, over the next few days, we'll spend a lot of time doing that. We know the level has to be higher. We know the level can be higher. Maybe the biggest thing is we have to accept the environment that we're in and the expectations that are around us. And we're going to have to walk towards that challenge. At the moment, we're falling a little bit short of that. Ultimately, that's my responsibility. I'm the manager. And I've got to guide this group in the best way possible to achieve extraordinary things. You have to go through some difficult moments. Today was a difficult moment without a doubt, towards the end of the game especially. But England have never won back-to-back qualification matches, I was told yesterday. So there's a reason for that. And we hoped to write a different story today. We haven't managed that. We understand what that will mean for the next few days, but we have to stay calm inside the group and find good solutions to improving.
Hi Gareth, Mike Keegan from the Daily Mail. Just wanted to get your thoughts on the pitch tonight. It seemed to be cutting up really badly. Is that a surprise to come and encounter something like that at a major tournament, and did it impact on the way your team could play tonight?
Well, look, firstly, we can't be making any excuses for the level of the performance. So we have to accept responsibility. We noticed this pitch did cut up the other day in the game we were watching the other day. I think it was Belgium played here. What I would say is, I've been a defender. When you play on a pitch like that, it puts you on edge because you're not quite sure of your footing and you're not quite sure when one moment, one slip could cost the team. But as I said, we've got to look beyond that for the reasons for our performance.
Okay.
Gareth, Jacob Steinberg from The Guardian. I mean, you've got a lot of young, inexperienced players who are new to this. There are moments in the second half towards the end where you can hear boos from the fans. Is that unhelpful in that environment? Is it making it harder for them to relax?
Look, I think we have to accept this is the environment we're in. We're in the environment of winning on the biggest possible stage. And if we don't hit the level, if I don't hit the level that's needed, then we have to accept what comes our way. We have to find the best way to solve that. Of course, we need the fans. We need the fans. But I have to say, they've been brilliant. They've been absolutely brilliant in the stadiums. And I can completely understand their frustration with the way that we played. But what I would say is these boys aren't lacking effort at the moment. They're not. It's not a case of they're not trying. They're not. But we've got to find a better way of playing. We've got to find more quality in what we're doing. So I don't think people would look at them and say they don't care. If anything, at the moment we care too much, and we've got to find a way of getting that right balance.
Hi Gareth, Matt Law from The Telegraph. It's just sounded there, and a couple of things you said yesterday as well, that maybe some of the players are actually struggling to cope with the pressure a little bit. Would that be accurate? And also, do you have a problem with the balance of the team at the moment?
Well, it's clear in terms of the balance of the team that we don't have our best left back available, so that denies you the opportunity for that balance. But I think Trips has done an incredible job for the team. So, his spirit, his organisation, his desire have helped us get over the line in the last two games. So that's in no way a criticism of him, but it's obviously going to be different with a right footer there than a left. We have been trying to find a solution in midfield for 7 or 8 years. If we hadn't had Declan Rice for the last few years, I don't know where we'd have been. Unfortunately, Calvin wasn't a possible for us for this tournament. Hendo the same. So we're trying to find something different, and some of that has worked, some of that hasn't worked so well. But over the years, that's been a consistent problem we've tried to find the best way of solving, and we've got to do that in the coming weeks as well. We have to accept that we're in an environment where we have to deliver. This is the arena we're in. So we've got to walk towards that challenge. And I'm intending to walk towards it, whatever the reaction is. I'm not going to avoid going over to the fans at the end of the game. We confront it head on. What we've got to do is play better and show people what we're really capable of.
Take the last two questions here up front, please.
Hi, Gareth, Sam Rockmore, Daily Mail. You mentioned the lack of control potentially in the middle of in midfield. How much is that linked to the Trent playing in there and not having, in your eyes, not having a genuine centre midfielder who plays in that position every week?
Well, one of our biggest problems was we weren't pressing well enough as a team. So he had all sorts of problems to solve without the ball. And most of those he did really, really well. Clearly you're going to see different pictures when you're in there every week. And he's had moments where he's played the passes that we thought he could. We're looking at a team performance. Well, I know and I understand you're always going to ask me about individuals, but the team didn't function today. That's my responsibility. So I have to, I'm in control of that. I have to find solutions to that. The players are giving absolutely everything they have. As I said earlier, if anything, they're showing they care too much. It's for me to to find better solutions than we've shown, excuse me, in the last couple of matches.
Last question, please.
Gareth, Paul Joyce at Times. How big a challenge is this for you to turn it round now? Because you said after Iceland, similar problems that we've seen today, and that was going to be a wake-up call. It doesn't seem to have acted like that. So how big is the challenge you face now?
The challenge is to do something that's never been done before, so it couldn't be any bigger. And we know that we've had a lot of issues to deal with in the lead into that, but we are where we are now, and we have to find the best way forward. So that's the responsibility I have. I've got to lead the group in the right way, make intelligent decisions to find the best balance, to find more of a threat with what we're delivering with the ball, and to be better without the ball so that we're not needing to defend for the long periods of the game that we are at the moment.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Gareth. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.